Hi everyone, welcome to my video on the solar eclipse in Leo on the 11th of August. Now, there has been, because this is an interesting historical fact, so bear with me, there has been a solar eclipse on the 11th of August before. And whether you're old enough to remember this or not, it was in 1999 and it was the last eclipse of the 21st century. 20th century, way to confuse the video already, but it was quite significant. A lot of people watched it because it was the last eclipse of that century, and it was also in the sign of Leo, so it was a very powerful energy. Now, Leo is the 5th house energy. It's the house of children, it's romance, it's the movies, it's fame, it's popular culture, it's those type of energies. Leo also rules the heart, so a lot of time periods where Leo is a dominant feature, as this will be because there was that supermoon in Leo in February, which was also a blue moon, I believe, but it's going to be a very interesting energy to watch play out in the media. Because with 5th house energy, I feel like children may dominate the news, they may dominate research, things may happen in fertility treatments under this influence because it is so significant. There may be breakthroughs in those areas. Similarly, there may be more things come out in the media about famous people, romance and things like that. There may be significant changes in the way we view romance and whatever as well under this period. So they're good things to watch out for on a global level. And Leo is a very optimistic energy, so it's very positive. This is the 5th eclipse of this year. It's the 3rd one of the summer, and it means different things for different signs. This is also falling under a new moon in Leo. So if you're a Leo, I think you're probably very excited about this. Some other signs, particularly fixed signs, Taurus, Scorpio, or Aquarius, may be finding this energy a little bit heavy right now. And that's a good thing because it is turning you inward to assess what it is that's not quite working for you in your life so that you can fix it under this new moon and solar eclipse. So I have done a video on new moon intentions that I will be putting up around the same time as this one, so you can watch the two. Just a little disclaimer, the information given for each sign may be quite similar because they're falling in the same sign. It is all about manifesting new things, new beginning. New moons and solar eclipses are quite similar in energies. It just means that this is heightened. So realistically, if you know all about new moon intentions, you don't have to watch both. So I am going to talk about each sign and what it means for them in order from Aries to Pisces, and what you can expect to be thinking about or what's playing on your mind the most under this eclipse energy. So firstly, we have Aries. And Aries, as you are the first sign of the zodiac, this represents your 5th house, romance. So you may be thinking about things like, if you're single, what type of partner you want. If you're dating someone, you're wondering whether or not they're up to scratch of what you're really interested in. You may be reassessing these areas. You may actually be having a eureka moment in terms of discovering what it really is that you want from a relationship and what it is that you really want from romance. Maybe there's not enough romance in your life. Similarly, some of you may be thinking about starting a family. Some of you may be thinking about having children. Those of you that have had trouble finding kids, having children and things, may find that under this moon you're more successful. So with the solar eclipse in this part of the sky for you, it's going to be illuminating beautiful 5th house energies, which is one of my favorite houses. It's very romantic, it's very idealistic, it's very magical as well, it's very exciting, and it can be quite dramatic as Leo is the sign of drama. So you may be having very exciting romantic encounters. You might be meeting people that are famous. You might be meeting people that are really attractive, really interesting to speak to. Really, people that you don't meet in a day-to-day, you may be meeting more interesting type of people that you would love to know. You know, as I say, famous movie stars, maybe. People that work in television, 5th house energy, people that work in the creative arts. those type of energies. It's not necessarily the longest lasting energy always. It has to be backed up by a true connection, but it can be a very fun, interesting period for you at least. What you do from there is entirely up to you. So Taurus, of course, this is your 4th house energy, which rules your home environment. It rules your family connections. Those of you that have fragmented relationships with your family, which may actually have been down to the Mercury retrograde period in Leo, may be finding that it is easier to understand each other once this solar eclipse has passed. So if you're having tough relationships with people in your life, particularly the other fixed signs, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius, you may find that once the eclipse has passed, you'll find your relationships a lot easier to get along with. Now, there was a lunar eclipse in Aquarius late July, so you may still be suffering a little bit from that. It may have hit you quite hard, and it may have made you feel somewhat uneasy. Being a fixed sign, particularly being an earth sign, when you combine fixed and earth, you get grounded. So Taurus people like stability, and to have the eclipses happen in fixed signs can feel very unsteady for you. You may not be feeling like you're on solid ground, particularly with Uranus coasting through your sign, but once this is passed, you're going to start to feel an absolute breath of fresh air. You're actually being taught to not resist change so much and embrace the differences that you're getting under this energy, because it's actually a very positive thing to bring you outward and let you embrace the change that's around you. Because Aquarian energy in particular can be quite shocking, and then Leo energy can be quite dramatic. So there may be very big things going on. Hearing people out of the blue, that type of thing, hearing from old family members. You may have an epiphany in terms of what it is you want from your relationships, and strained relationships may be healed under this particular transit. If you want to manifest a new home, for example, this is also something that's very good energy to do it under. It's more the time of the year you're more likely to get your dream home. And particularly as this is a solar eclipse and the new moon in Leo, the energy is incredibly strong. I would work with it if a home is what you're thinking about buying in the next year, or you're looking for your dream home. It's the best energy to find it under. Maybe wait until the contracts can be signed till later August 20th onwards when Mercury goes direct, but aside from that, it's a pretty positive energy for you, Taurus. So Gemini, it is your 3rd house. Now, you're 3rd house energy, so this suits you. This is giving you a voice. This is how you communicate your authentic voice, your communication with others, what you're putting forward, whether you feel confident enough to put your personality forward, confident enough to put your opinions forward. You may be a blogger. You may be a influencer, an author, a writer, a newscaster. I know that there was a journalist in the States who had a moon in Gemini and was put out of the White House, which I thought was quite an interesting thing to watch with this, coming up to this eclipse. It sort of can be one of those moments where you felt misunderstood for quite a while. You felt like your voice wasn't being heard, and then there's going to be a sudden, poof, your voice is going to suddenly be more important. But you have to make sure it's the authentic one that you're putting forward. Communication also rules siblings, your relationships with your immediate family, and how you're communicating with them on a personal level. So you have to make sure that you're being true to yourself and true to your other twin, because Gemini, you have 2 sides, you have 2 distinct personalities, and you have to make sure that each one is talking in its authentic voice. And this could be a very interesting cycle for you, particularly if you are in writing and using your voice, using a platform, because as I say, 5th house energy is fame. You could find that your voice becomes a lot more, it's a lot louder than it usually would be. And I know that Geminis can sometimes feel like all they have to do is breathe before everybody jumps on them and says, what are you talking about? Geminis can get quite a hard rep in terms of their communication skills, but in actuality, this is going to give you more of a voice than you've had in a while, and more of an understanding than you've had in a while as well, Gemini. So, Cancer, this is your 2nd house of finance and income. It's all about the worth. It's all about the value. And that is what the month of August has meant for you. It's all about establishing your value, putting an actual figure out there that you want to be earning. what figure you think you could have, what monthly salary you want, what yearly salary you want, what type of money you want, what you want to be spending your money on, you can really get a lot back from this solar eclipse in terms of your financial situation. You could be manifesting more money. Money could be coming to you a lot easier, which it probably hasn't done due to other aspects in the sky for the last couple of months. You maybe been feeling a little bit shorter on it than usual, but after this you're going to be feeling more abundant, provided you use the energy correctly. So thinking about what it is that you want from your money, what type of money you want to be having in your bank account, have a figure, have a visualization. Be very clear on that, because it is the best time for you to do this. There's not going to be something like this for a while. So you need to make sure that you're really harvesting in your ideas and making sure that you have an exact sum. It's also as it is worth. Worth comes from within, so what you feel like you're worth. A lot of people, particularly women, undervalue what it is that they could be earning. They undervalue their skills, they undervalue their expertise. Try setting it a bit higher, and if you're not finding you connect with the higher sum, if you're feeling you're not connecting with your belief that you deserve a higher sum, repeat it over and over and over. Say, I deserve this sum because, I deserve this sum because, and repeat it until it becomes known to you. You can go your whole life undervaluing yourself, but there's an abundance of money in the universe that you deserve, that you shouldn't feel like you're lacking in that department and feeling like you don't deserve it. It's best to feel, set your target a little higher than what you usually would and see how much of it comes back to you, just having that little bit more ambition and that little bit more value that you've put on yourself. So Leo, I'm really going very quick in this. Leo, this is all about you. This is you going center stage, which as a Leo, you're comfortable with, right? First house energy for you, what you feel about yourself, what your self goals are. This isn't about anybody else. This is a great time to be selfish and think about what it is you want from yourself and what you want to enhance within yourself. Do you want to read more? Do you want to communicate better? Do you want to try more things? Do you want to have a new hobby? Do you have a particular fitness goal? Do you have a particular monetary goal? You get to hand pick what it is that you want for yourself out of everything. First house energy is so all-inclusive, and it really depends on what person you want to be. It's always good to go back and check what type of person that you want to be and make sure that you are that person. Be your own hero under this cycle. Be your own best friend. Be your own cheerleader. Make sure that you know exactly what it is that you want to be doing and what person you want to be. Leos are great at being the person they want to be. They're great at being superheroes. They're great at being in charge of things, because being ruled by the sun, you need to be respected, you need to be admired. And the only downside of being a Leo is that sometimes if you're born under the sign of the lion, I think lions sleep for like 13 hours a day. So this may make you feel a bit tired initially. You may not feel the immediate revamp. As I said, Mercury is inconveniently retrograding in your sign, so you may not be feeling all systems go. But by the end of August, you're going to be coming out of this feeling like an Energizer bunny. You're going to be coming out of this feeling more powerful, more enlightened, more in tune with yourself, and your own relationship with yourself is going to be strengthened. You might have to go through a few bumps to get through that, particularly as we've just passed the lunar eclipse in your 7th house of partnerships. You're now shifting the focus onto what it is that you want and what it is that you can do, okay? So Virgo, this is your 12th house. Now the 12th house subconsciously can be a little bit difficult to navigate, and this isn't a negative thing. This is enhancing your relationship with yourself. This is enhancing your inner being, your mental health, your spiritual health, the way you view your morals, the way you have your perception of the world, what you think it means to be spiritual, what you think it means to be mentally and emotionally strong. Nobody in the zodiac, I think, is as hard on themselves as a Virgo is. So to have this solar eclipse in your 12th house, it may give you the shake-up that you need to accept that we all have flaws and nobody is truly perfect, and there are always going to be little weaknesses we have. The great thing about a solar eclipse is that it enlightens those and it gives you confidence in that area. The sun is a very confident energy, and when then there's eclipse, you're relying more on your intuition rather than your masculine side. So to have it in the 12th house is really going inward and focusing on what it is that you feel as a person, about yourself, about others, about the world around you. It's a very deep thinking energy. Now, 12th house energy is actually Pisces, which is your 7th house of partnerships. So As an opposite sign, you may not feel completely comfortable with this energy, but it's actually something that can be very balancing for you. You could learn this from other Piscean people, taking advice from the Pisceans around you, how they cope with the self-exploration, how they cope with their subconscious. Analyzing your dreams is very important under this as well, Virgo. You might be having some really funky dreams because 12th house is dreaming, it's Neptune, it's fantasies as well. So accepting the fantasies that you have of your life that you maybe don't want to acknowledge, maybe you don't feel like they're within reach, really dig deep and figure out that they might actually be a lot closer than you expect under this eclipse. So Libra, 11th house energy, social energy, the way you communicate with your peers, the way you communicate with the world, global energy. 11th house energy is fascinating because in this day and age, modern technology for modern astrology, it can really emphasize the way you communicate with the online world. Now, under a solar eclipse, you may feel like you have fleeting moments of influence. You might be going viral on a post. You might find that you have more viewers on, if you have YouTube or whatever. You may find that you have more traffic coming in if you have a social network activity-wise. But this mostly is to do with the friendships that you have within your life. Now, Libra, you are a partnership sign, and that is fine. It is good to have relationships, but it's very important to have friendship as well as a partner. So for those of you that are single, it's about exploring the environment you have, your social network, maybe joining more clubs than you usually do, maybe getting more connected with people from different cultures. It's all about the humanitarian aspect. Some of you may be dealing with humanitarian values, humanitarian goals, and you might be finding that you find a really worthy cause that you'd like to explore and you find a lot of fulfillment with. If you're doing this already, this may be a moment that really benefits you in terms of the direction you're going. So making friends from different cultures, making new friendships. If you've been feeling like you're lacking in the friendship department and you'd like more, this is the best time to ask for it and really envision what type of friendships you want and what it is that you need from your friendships that you've maybe not got this far. So 10th house energy goes to Scorpio, which is all about career and it's all about status and, recognition and reward for the work that you've been putting in since February when there was a full moon in Leo. You may have found your career take interesting shape. You may have found certain things have come easier to you and certain things have been more challenging. Now, the interesting energy about this is that under this new moon and this solar eclipse in Leo, you get to begin again with your career. So if you feel like you've not been going in the right direction and you want to press restart, you want to start a new job, you want to start working in a new area, you want to start a new field, this is going to be the time where you attract the best connections, you attract the best possibilities. Jobs will come easier to you. Status will come easier to you. VIP status as well comes along with the 10th house. You may be finding that you are meeting more influential people. You may find that you're meeting more successful people by your definition of success. Now, as I said in the Scorpio reading for August, success is a lousy teacher. Bill Gates said that, and if you're going to take success advice from anyone, make sure that you're taking it from someone that is going down the road of success that you'd like. People may have different opinions. Some people love Bill Gates, they hate Kris Jenner, but you can't argue they're both very successful in their own field, whatever you think of them as people. So it is a good time to get your goals in order, what you really want out of your career. Make a list of the 5 things that you most want out of your career in the next 6 months and be ambitious. You will be more ambitious than usual. You will be selling yourself higher than usual, and this is all a good thing because it's all going to come back to you in more positive ways. So Sagittarius, your 9th house energy, which is great because that is completely your energy. What you can do with this energy is travel more. You can figure out where it is that you want to travel, what in the world you want to see, the type of cultures you want to experience. Some of you may decide completely that you want to move countries, and that's great. You may decide you want to move cities. If a little bit smaller, you might want to move town. Expansive energy. You want to move. You want to experience new. In the next 6 months, you should make a bucket list of the people you want to see, the places you want to travel, the countries you want to visit, and watch it manifest a lot quicker than you've ever thought. This is going to be a very pivotal solar eclipse for that type of energy. It's going to be all about what the things, you know, the expansive energy, what things you want to see the most in the world. If you have like landmarks you want to see. It's also great for higher education, if you want to learn a new subject, if you want to go back to school and study, if you want to experience new religions. Some of you may completely have new religious experiences under this. You may decide to become a Buddhist. You may decide to read into Catholicism. You may think more about religion as a comforting thing where you've maybe asked a lot of questions before. Your perspective may shift. It's going to be a very interesting energy for you, but one that you're going to be very optimistic and comfortable with more than some of the other signs who may find eclipses quite jarring. This is going to run quite smoothly for you. And yeah, with the Mercury retrograding there, maybe not the month to travel just yet, but set the intentions and watch them transpire towards September. Now, 8th house energy is for Capricorn, which may feel a little bit scary for Capricorns. Having your Saturn return and Pluto also retrograding in your sign can feel a little bit heavy. And heavy energy in Capricorns do unite in a way that some other signs may feel uncomfortable with. Capricorns are used to climbing against, you know, certain weight, and most Capricorns always carry a weight on their shoulders because they feel responsibilities that they must shoulder at all costs. To have 8th house energy in this particular part of the sky solar eclipse here, you may have to re-examine your experiences with grief. You may have to re-examine your experiences with other people's money, with inheritance, that type of thing. It is a good time to acknowledge your relationship with death, if it's something that really triggers you, if it's something that really scares you, because death is all about, in the tarot and astrology, it's about metamorphosis. It's about how you grow as a person. And Capricorns, they like to grow in terms of their success, but a lot of the time they can ignore the inner growth. And you, under this energy, under the current transits, will have a particular subconscious fear that you may or may not be aware of at this point. And it is a fear that is actually holding you back in terms of your growth. And the Saturn transit is asking you to examine it. This solar eclipse is going to enlighten it. You may feel a particular insecurity come to a head that you can finally overcome as a person. And this insecurity has been holding you back to some degree. So when it comes out, you're going to feel a little bit like an elastic band. It's going to pinch, but it's going to release. And it's very important that you go through this energy feeling capable of handling it, because it doesn't necessarily mean something bad's going to happen, but this is a fear that's going on within you that you need to address. Now, as it is 8th house energy, the best people you can ask for advice on this transit are Scorpios, because they are the only sign born under the 8th house energy. They understand, they're the phoenix, they rise from the ashes all the time. They go through all these moments of growth, and both signs are very successful. Both signs are very determined. And you know, Scorpio is going through 10th house energy, you're going through 8th house energy, you're going through each other's houses. So it's very important that you rely on each other rather than butt heads to each other under this transit, because you could really grow from this Capricorn. You could really learn a few things from the Scorpio people in your life. You could learn a few things from them in terms of diving into your fear and examining who you really are as a person and where you feel like you may be lacking. And with 8th house energy as well, make sure you're checking your moon and your rising for this transit as well, because it will highlight the other areas in your life that you feel like you have something to grow from. Okay, so the 7th house energy goes to Aquarius, because this is your partnership, which is fabulous because we just had that lunar eclipse in your sign. So you were dealing with your 1st house energy, what you want from yourself, who you are as a person. And then we have what you want from your partnerships and what you want as a marriage, as a contract, maybe your legal contracts, maybe your relationship with your partner legally. Maybe some of you are thinking of getting married. Some of you may get engaged under this in the next 6 months. Some of you may meet the person you're meant to be engaged to under the next 6 months, which is really positive, Aquarius. Although depending on your independence, maybe you're not into that type of thing. But as it is contracts, it can rule people that you cohabit with, that you have legal ties to, court cases that will go in your favor in the next 6 months, provided you have done the just thing, because Libra energy, 7th house energy, is the tarot of justice. So provided you've been fair, your karma is going to be restored in the next 7 months where there has maybe been an imbalance before. So this is all very positive. It's a great time to manifest the type of partner you want long term. It's very secure energy. It's very long-term energy, okay? So I know that Mars has been retrograding in your sign and you've maybe not felt as attractive and as forward as you'd like to be. Maybe you felt a little bit like you were lacking in the romantic department. You've not been attracting people that are very stable. That's all about to change, and it's all about to change for the better. When Mars goes direct in your sign, I think it is possibly late September. Don't quote me on that. I'll probably do a video on that too. When Mars goes direct in your sign, you're going to be enjoying so much this eclipse. And to have Mars retrograding in that area as well has probably been bringing back a lot more opportunities for you that you may have missed the first time round. So the solar eclipse gives you a right boom, like a burst of energy, and it's going to be very exciting for you, Aquarius. I think you're really going to like this one. I think you're going to feel very good about this one, and it's going to do a real 180 for you in terms of the negative aspects of partnerships, because you're going to be going into this energy focusing on what type of partner it is that you truly want. So Pisces, this is your 6th house. This is health. This is your immediate work. And how do the two connect? When you're stressing yourself out at work, you're probably stressing yourself out at home. Is the job that you're doing worth the stress? If you're not feeling stress at work, what are you feeling stress in terms of? Is it your body? Because this is health. You may have felt under the lunar eclipse in Aquarius in your 12th house, you may have gained a few pounds, or you may be feeling a little bit unhealthy. You may feel like you've been eating worse. This is a super positive transit for getting healthier, making better choices for your body. It's just going to be easier. It's just going to be easier. You're going to have fitness goals that you want to achieve. With Mars going retrograde there, you're still going to be feeling a little bit of pull. Don't go too hard. But once that's gone direct, you're going to be feeling this solar eclipse even more so. And this is amazing for you, because if you've been feeling a little bit out of tune with your body, you know, because Pisces is emotional, sometimes you can be emotional eaters. Sometimes your emotional health can really take stress on your body. And when you're feeling really upset about something, you're holding something within, you can become sick. So sometimes when you have a sore throat, it means that you're not speaking your truth. Make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people where you can vent and you can get positive affirmations from, where you're feeling very secure in your friendships, you're feeling very good about the choices you're making for your body and what your health means to you, basically. You may find that you've had a health concern recently and you couldn't understand what it is. Mystery illnesses are very common for water signs, where they're feeling a certain way, but it's not diagnosable and it's all emotional. So you may find you're relieved of something under this solar eclipse in that sign too. In your day-to-day work, you may have a more positive experience with your co-workers. You may find that the less stressed you are, if you're meditating, if you're eating better, you're drinking more water, you may find that your work life suddenly goes a lot smoother because it's your energy that's changed, okay? And that takes us back to Aries, and we've already discussed you, so that is all the signs for this lunar solar eclipse in Leo. 5th eclipse of the year. We're all a little bit afraid. Leo energy is the best one to have at this point, because it gives that injection of positivity and a little bit more enthusiasm over what we're going to do for the rest of the year. So it's kind of like a mid-year resolution to set your intentions for the rest of the year under this transit. So it's going to be very exciting. Fixed house energy can sometimes feel a little bit like you're reluctant to bring in the changes. This is going to force you to, and it's going to show you that sometimes change is for the better, okay? Particularly if you are a fixed sign and you're feeling a little bit scared and a little bit concerned, this energy is going to bless you in a brand new direction, and an eclipse is nothing to be afraid of. As I say, Leo rules the heart, so it's an eclipse of the heart. Not a total one, it's a partial one, but you're still going to feel the energy is pretty good. So I hope you guys all enjoyed that video, and I will see you for the monthlies in September. Bye!